Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Now it's time to take a look at the cryptocurrencies as well. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin market as usual. So on the Bitcoin, the reaction on the CPI numbers was almost anemic, so we do not see any response on the lower inflation data. And inflation, and the Bitcoin compares to the gold market, euro currency was going lower. So if on euro currency, for example, we see more or less significant downward direction, here you can see in two recent sessions, it mostly stands in retracement. But for the truth's sake, we could say that our former last suggestion analysis based on this engulfing pattern has worked nice. So we've got this upward direction precisely to the targets that we have specified, although it was not quite the hand-shoulder shape on lower time frames, but upward direction has happened. For now, it is necessary to understand what market is trying to form here. If, as we suggest here currently at this point, we're going to get something like the triangle, that definitely will be bullish pattern, and it will suggest the further upward continuation after retracement will be over. Potentially it might be as usual in the shape of the butterfly. So for instance, here we could get kind of the butterfly shape. You probably could draw it by yourself, but just for one moment we could get something like this. So initially 127 target will be around 115.50, so somewhere in this area, if we'll get the butterfly. So if market somehow will taking out the A point and breaking the 100 level to the downside, it definitely will lead for a deeper retracement. So we'll have the nearest support 97.65, lower ones 89. So one of these supports might be reached in the first, as a first approximation of the possible downward retracement. If we will see the breakout of this level, until market stands above 100 level, it keeps valid short-term bullish context. So retracement here might be different. It might be small, somewhere to the 107, 106 area, maybe slightly lower, what's typical for the butterfly. But anyway, the depth of the retracement here will not make any impact on the overall context until price stands above this lows. So that's what we have. So on lower time frame, we'll take a look carefully on the extensions and the levels that we have. Take a look that the first support stands 106.70, next one 104.30. So these two levels might be considered as potential target for possible retracement. Well, this level seems interesting because of the two moments. If you take a look at the hourly chart, first of all, recall our natural support resistance border that splits in two parts, two different areas of the market. So this was initially downside breakout, resistance, 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 upside breakout. Now it will become support again. Second, with this local ABCD pattern, you can see that the XOP target stands precisely in 106.73. It agrees with 30% support. That's why, if market really bullish, that area looks preferable compared to this one. And from that standpoint of view, if you plan to take the long position here on the Bitcoin, I would prefer to take the bulk of my position around this area and keep the rest, for instance, 30–40%. For some case, if market still will drop lower to the 104. So on average, it will be positioned somewhere in between, so 105, 105.50 probably right there. So that's just common thoughts on the current situation, just because this level is stronger. So that's why the chances that market will start bouncing up from this level looks also higher than it will drop to the 104. But 104 also can't be excluded totally. So because it stands inside of the same triangle shape, it's above the lows, and formally this is also suitable for possible position taking with the plan that we have on the higher time frames on the daily. So that was what we have. So let's see how our market will show.